Now here's Smart. He's covered by Rhodes. Butler with the steal. Gasol dishes to Holiday. The rim-rattling two-handed jam.
And that's how you make a steal count. Turn it into a quick slam at the other end.
It was really a case, it looked like Greg Anthony right there, if I can say so. It was really a case of a great defensive play triggering some instant offense.
Yeah, I remember GA as an irritant, and this guy, much like Greg, creating havoc out there.
Catching up on the changes for Chicago. Gibson comes in for Portis, and Dunleavy's subbed in for Justin Holiday.
Yeah, I love the communication and the chemistry between those teammates.
And Thomas, here we go. And Smart with the basket on the assist by Thomas. Thomas got 3 assists in the game.
Yeah, saw some things that just weren't working for them and wants to make some adjustments.
Yeah, and no reason to wait around to do that, Greg. I mean, might as well make those adjustments right away.
And some changes here for the Celtics. Jared Sullinger's checked in for Olynyk. Crowder comes in for Urebko. And Bradley subbed in for Isaiah Thomas.
I tell you what, he has quite the act to follow, but Fred Hoiberg was a quick choice for the brass in Chicago. Signed that 5-year deal over the summer. Was easily one of the most in-demand coaches available.
Cutting into that lead a little bit. Way to finish.
And the basket is still shaking.
Oh, I mean, he has got power in bunches on that two-hand.
It's got to be nice for them to know that game in and game out, his offense is going to be there for him.
Well, Greg, for Hoiberg, it's his first job as an NBA head coach. Now, we know he played. He's been a part of an NBA front office. Clark, he came from Iowa State, where he honed his coaching skills and was highly respected.
Yeah, very much respected, particularly as an offensive coach. And we know the Bulls are pretty solid defensively, and he'll be looking to ramp up that offensive approach for that team, and I think he will.
Right side, Butler. From 18 feet away. Butler missing again. Down low. Knocked away. It's stolen by Dunleavy. Offensive rebound. Here's Gasol. And they convert it last on attempt number 3. Gasol's got 6.
That makes it 10 of their last 12 points coming from inside the painted area.
And really something that the defense has to address.
And out of bounds as the Bulls gain possession. So Chicago ends up going with the new group. Boston also with the sub. Turner's checked in for Smart. Brooks kicks to McDermott. Mirotic the pass to Moore. There's the feed to McDermott. From deep. Sullinger with the rebound.
There's some good defense for you. I mean, for somebody who's as good at shooting the 3 as he is, you need a defender who's equally adept at guarding against it. That was well done.
I like that. They obviously put the right guy on him.
Johnson dishes to Crowder. And it's Turner off the drive. Now Bradley. He's got 6. Back to Johnson. Here's Turner. 1 second left. That'll do it for the first half. Celtics lead by 14. And we'll be back right after halftime to get the third quarter underway. Welcome back, everybody. Just about to get going here in what has been so far a runaway game. One of the stories here, Marcus Smart getting it done today.
Yeah, created a lot of quality shots for himself in that first half, and he knew when to pass it up when the double team came.
And that led to a very high points per shot number for him. For those of you that are into analytics, that stat really tells how efficient a player has been, and he's been very efficient so far.
And as we begin the second half, first half wasn't even close, guys, and we'll see if there is a comeback on our hands or more of the same as we get the third quarter started. One of the stories here, Marcus Smart getting it done today.
I just love the tenacity on the defensive side. I mean, his play on D has been a huge factor for them as he continues to get steal after steal.
And guys, as the game moves on, I think he should continue to be aggressive defensively to keep ball handlers off balance.
While we've got a moment, let's set the floor. Brought to you by Gatorade, all fueled up for the second half. On the floor for Boston. Thomas is the point with Bradley to his side. Jared Sullinger is out there with Jay Crowder. And it's Turner in at the three, the small forward. For a franchise that had so much success under his tenure, there was sure a lot of friction with Tom Thibodeau, and the Bulls front office surprised a lot of people, I know, including yourself.
Yeah, you know, it's not something that you see often, a winning coach at odds with his GM and president. With how often their differences came up, though, you knew something was afoot.
And Gibson, here we go. No good there, and that would have cut it to single digits. Celtics leading by 11. Mike Dunleavy is going to pick up the foul. That's foul number 2 for him. Portis, he's checked in for Taj Gibson. And then for Boston, Olynyk, he's checked in for Sullinger. Jerebko comes in for Jay Crowder. And Smart subbed in for Avery Bradley. Fast break, here comes Chicago. The dunk and the foul, a powerhouse move, and he's got a chance for one more at the line. That one on Olynyk. Justin Holiday's checked in for Chicago. And then for Boston, Tyler Zeller's checked in for Kelly Olynyk. Crowder comes in for Jerebko. And Bradley's subbed in for Smart. Here's Butler. Pass to Gasol. Thomas kicks to Bradley. Can't hit from in close.
Offensively, the struggles continue. 0 for 5 to start the half.
And stolen by Zeller. Ahead. Bradley can't get it to go.
Well, you know, they're in the lead, but he's still been frustrated from an offensive standpoint.
Count it, and the Celtic lead has been cut down to just 6 points with the basket from Jimmy Butler.
Oh, he got him. Gorgeous reverse.
So for the Bulls, Joakim Noah, he's checked in for Gasol. Mirotic comes in for Jimmy Butler, and Brooks subbed in for Rose.
Couldn't run the inbound play any better than right there. And nobody, guys, among the defenders stepping up to challenge him on that drive to the 10.
And Greg, he says, thank you very much, and sails in for the flush.
And those are the kind of sequences that tell you why the score is what it is.
Just over 2.5 minutes gone by here in the second half.
And guys, we've seen teams hire college coaches with no NBA experience before. It hasn't always worked out, but for Boston, they have to be very pleased with Brad Stevens.
Boy, he's just dangling from the rim after sending it through there.
You can see which team now has the swagger Clark right now.
Yeah, it's with them.
And guys, that swagger can backfire because you don't want to get your opponent a little too riled up.
It'll go. The Boston lead is cut down now to just 9 in the bucket from Brooks. And Brad Stevens now in his 3rd year coaching the Celtics. Greg, I know you admire him from afar. Good fit for the franchise. Good fit, Clark, for a young team.
Agree with you completely on all of that. He stresses team unity and selflessness and sets the example and tone with his demeanor.
Here's Thomas. Noah with the block. And so it looks like the Celtics will retain possession here. Some changes for Chicago. McDermott comes in for Portis. And it's Etuan Moore checking in for Justin Holiday. And then for Boston, Kelly Olynyk's checked in for Zeller. Johnson comes in for Evan Turner. And Marcus Smart is subbed in for Bradley. Crowder from deep three-point range. Smart misses. 3-on-3. And finished off by McDermott.
Cutting into the lead with a huge one-hand throwdown.
That's how to get your team back into it.
Yes, sir.
I tell you what, guys, that might also put a little spark into those guys.
And that is good.
Almost an impossible shot to block in the post. The defender can't give up that much of a height advantage and expect to contest it.
Brooks with the bucket.
Their three-point percentage has taken a big leap here in this second half.
And their lasers are starting to do their thing. I mean, that's going to be the ticket for them the rest of the way.
Now here's Moore. Rebound Boston. Crowder's got 4 rebounds now tonight. That'll go on McDermott. That is his first foul of the game.
That's his first personal foul. Substitution on the court.
16 seconds left for the third. The Celtics shooting their 7th and 8th free throws.